on the next one. So just hit next when you want to start the video. These are your two mics to pass around, and don't touch the laptop. Yeah.
Start us off. Oh, I guess it's a video. Video. Let it.
Hey Tim, there's this really awesome course called Lineage. It's meant to be one of the best classes here at Berkeley.
Yeah, I heard about the same thing. What's your idea? We should do it.
Our initial idea was to solve for accountability and decision making at large corporates.
So, is everyone clear about the topic?
Yes, we've been working on it for 6 months.
What? My team is also working on the same topic.
My team actually worked on this 6 months ago.
But we got really confused from our early interviews. We had no idea what insights or pain points to look for, and had no idea what customer segment to target. We started to target specific customer segments, starting with consultants, lawyers, software engineers, and finally, salespeople. With these customer segments, we then wanted to test what their pain points were.
Is this hurt? Is this hurt? Is this hurt? Is it hurt? Is this hurt? Is this hurt?
50 interviews later.
Is this hurt?
We needed a way to synthesize all 50 of the interviews, so what did we do? We decided to use ChatGPT. After that, we were able to figure out it wasn't consultants, it wasn't lawyers, nor was it software engineers, but it was our one true love, salespeople.
Aww.
We then interviewed account executives, sales support staff, and customer success managers. You really wanted to pay. Lineage, generative AI to empower customer success managers.
Hello everyone, we are Team Lineage. Welcome to our lessons learned from 124 interviews and how we went from a visualization tool for large organizations into an AI assistant for our customer success managers. So a quick intro to the teams. As you can see on the map, we are all from 5 different countries, and we are also from various industries, and so are our mentors, who are not from South America, by the way, but they brought in a wealth of knowledge to our team. So back to the point. We are from very different backgrounds, but unified with one common frustration. Working at large corporates is miserable. So we wanted to make a difference. So we decided to improve the business process efficiencies in large organizations. So as you saw in the video, we started broad, like really, really broad. We spoke to a lot of people from many different industries, consulting, big tech, finance, legal services, etc., about various issues like alignment, accountability, knowledge management, and whatnot, hoping to find that one hair-on-fire problem that we can solve. So, countless pivots later, here are the lessons that we learned.
Well, the first lesson that we learned, finding knowledge is a pain for everyone. Looking for files, looking for people, and this is a non-stop process. So this is what we heard, that there's too many files and too many people. There's a poor internal search engine, and also there's no incentive to update the internal files, because it's simply not part of the KPI. So a lot of people spent time working on this, actually 10 to 30% of their working time, which is a lot of waste of time. So we went and we brainstormed ideas, and we thought about this. Are we an intelligent drive? What is our value proposition? Are we an internal Quora? Should we gamify incentives? But all of these are great ideas. And one thing that we found from the teaching team is that it's great, but who's going to pay for it? So we got to thinking, that is actually a great question. With great ideas, who's going to pay for it? So we went out, and this is what we learned. after 87 interviews, we found that missing knowledge is most painful for sales teams. And the reason is, the less time they spend in finding information means more time they spend with their customers. Meaning this is more time to understand what their customers need, how to retain customers, and how to cross-sell and upsell. This is actually something we found from one of our interviews. He said that 20% of his time is spent chasing down support. And quantifying it, this means it's $1.6 million in lost revenue. So we go back again, we brainstormed, and we decided, hey, maybe ChatGPT. Are we an AI sales assistant? Are we an AI for sales forecasting? Or AI for sales asset creation? And then the teaching team came back to us and said, what kind of sales are you targeting? And specifically who? So we realized that we were too broad. So after 124 interviews later, we found that apparently sales is a saturated market. Big surprise. But there's also an underserved segment. This is not just salespeople in sales teams, but there's so many moving parts. So this is what we're trying to figure out. Who is our undeserved segment? Who is this ugly duckling that we so badly need to love? And the answer is, after 100 customer interviews and a little help from ChatGPT, we figured out that it is customer success managers. So what is customer success managers?
To understand what customer success manager is, we have to first understand that B2B sales is really complicated. As you can see here, it goes from pre-sales to post-sales, bunch of different steps with anywhere from 5 to 6 people all jumping in to help with the entire process. And this whole thing could take 4 to 6 weeks, 4 to 6 months, or 4 to 6 quarters. And it could be anywhere from 2 to 20 people on one side. So on each side, there's up to 40 people working on it for 2 years to make this happen. And that's why we need customer success manager to be the concierge for the customer throughout this complicated process. They need to understand the customer's goals and then work with everyone, all the internal stakeholders to achieve those goals for the customer. Their 3 metrics are retention of the existing customers, adoption of products and services, and growth through cross-selling and upselling. So this is the ideal. Customer success managers drive value and satisfaction with the customer by talking to them, and then they try to be the voice of the customer when they're working with sales and marketing, with sales and support, analytics and data science, and product and engineering. We're working as a bridge. But the reality, as it always is never that pretty. Your customer success manager comes in the morning, new customer is asking about the implementation timeline for the plan, so she's checking with the product team going like, can we scope what we can actually do in 2 weeks? And the product team's like, we're ready to release a new feature. Can I catch you up on the new updates that are coming out so you can tell all of our customers? And then she's also checking with the analytics team about, okay, we need to set up our analytics so we can actually show the data that's happening. While the sales team is like, we got a new customer. Can you schedule a kickoff meeting? And now you need to download context for that information and prefer for that too. You didn't even solve the question of the other new customer that's coming along. All the while, your existing customer calls you up. We're still having some of the issues, and now you're talking to service and support to figure out what the issues are. And it looks even worse than that. It's a total mess, and it's so many tools there. Customer success managers have anywhere from 1 to 100 customers, depending on their account size. They're working with 6 to 8 tools every day. And each of those have countless emails, messages, records, notes, tickets, slides, and dashboard that they have to go through. And all of this is adding up to become 75% of their time is spent on firefighting, just dealing with emails and issues. And they're never getting to the high-value tasks of solving problems for customers, understanding their problems, and identifying revenue opportunities. So customer success is not working. Customer satisfaction, product adoption, growth opportunities are all dropping, and revenues are falling too. So what can be done about this?
So we thought, can we use generative AI to help simplify the process? So effectively, we're an AI assistant to empower customer success managers. But what does that actually mean? So we have a prototype mock-up of what it looked like. So it's an interface similar to ChatGPT, where you just type a natural language response. So tell me about Parakeet. I'm about to have a meeting with them. And then off the back of that, it'll pull from a whole bunch of data sources and do some thinking, and then come up with an outcome. So based on the response you have, there'll be things like a customer overview and insights. Then it could be things like your last customer touch point, so the last conversation that you had with the customer, or newsworthy conversation points, so you can have a better, more insightful conversation. So based on the prompt and query that you have, a customized response will come up accordingly. And then, so how are we actually going to build this? So the idea is we can plug into your private enterprise knowledge databases, things like your CRM platforms, your knowledge databases, so on and so forth. And then we can also add in public information, such as financial data from PitchBook and Bloomberg, or any type of Google News data. And then we can all fine-tune this within a public LLM and optimize this over time. So in the future, all a customer success manager has to do is talk to Lineage and not hit up all these 10 different systems or applications. And then, so our vision for the long term is we want to help customer success managers first focus on the high-value customers to help save them time, and then unlock growth opportunities by going for the medium-sized customers and eventually the long tail of customers by automating this process, as the customers are largely underserved today.
And now, finally, our idea is started to getting traction. Within a day, we're running our LinkedIn ad. We actually got a really enthusiastic, like our prospect customers asking for POC and also product adoption. And finally, now we have more positive feedbacks from our other interviewees. So our ideas has gained more traction than any other people ring we have made. We also found that this market is really big and attractive. After many companies went through many volatilities and uncertainties from COVID and bear market, now they think protecting their existing customers more important than getting the new customers. And it led to large and more investment in customer success as well. So our team's answer is we're going to go and we're going to keep developing these ideas beyond the class. So we will work closely with our initial leads to develop more details of our features. And our first milestone is to getting more stronger traction and using that as a momentum to get an angel round of funding. So we aim to lead in AI innovation within customer success area, and we will grow really fast to capture this market. Thank you for listening to our story.